Ryan, and I want your views on it, because it does feel as if Operation Arse Covering has been launched this afternoon. Neither manager believed that the game was over. I think both managers spoke to either the linesman or the fourth official on the main stand side, and were both told there was over a minute still to play. And I've got a real problem with this, because it basically means that mob rule decided when that game finished yesterday. And this is the game that we've all been waiting for, the climax to this thrilling season. And I'm not sure that we got a proper ending to it. And I know the SPFL have put out a statement. In fact, I know that Neil Doncaster personally sought out Don Robertson before the trophy presentation to establish that the game did come to a conclusion and it wasn't an abandonment. But if there's still a minute of injury time left to play and neither manager knows that the game has actually finished, I'm not very comfortable with the whole circumstances around it. Ryan, I don't know about you.
No, I think the worrying part of what was said was Martin O'Neill's statement when he just came out and he said, I still thought there was 30 seconds or 45 seconds to go. I mean, at the end up when obviously the Hearts players had been taken up the tunnel, I thought they would come back out again, and then it just ended. So there is an issue there. Again, I'm trying to stay away from the fact that I think, did Celtic deserve to win? Yes. Did they deserve to win the title? Absolutely, 100%. Because what they've done, especially post-split, has been unbelievable. But we genuinely cannot turn a blind eye on this. We can't just roll over and let this just go away. The fact that this game hasn't been able to start again because of the situation which was on the pitch, something has to be done about it now. What I will say is, because people just think that I'm talking with my Hearts hat on here, I listened to 59,000, however many fans booing the fans that were on the pitch. So to that main group of Celtic fans, 100%, they did the right thing, booing their own fans to get off the pitch.
Yeah.
But there is an issue here, and there is a big issue here, is the fact that, one, the players were compromised now. That cannot be allowed. The fact that these players are on there doing their job, doing a great spectacle for the Scottish game, which we all, no matter what the outcome is, they cannot feel threatened. They cannot be dealing with people trying to punch them, running up to them and goading them, things like that. That cannot happen. I understand pitch invasions to an extent. Do you know what? I actually kind of understand the pitch invasion to an extent against Motherwell. 99th minute, you score a penalty, they run on. Right, it's not great. They run back off. I get all that, and it was dealt with properly. That yesterday was so far beyond anything that we ever want to see in Scottish football. And the fact that we really don't know if the game has finished. You know what? We're probably 98% sure the game hasn't finished, and it's literally just been, we can't put them back on. And I know for a fact the reason why the players get, and you'll know that as well, Keith. The reason why the players got on the bus and got back up to Edinburgh was because the police basically told them, you have to get out of here.
Correct.
So there is a massive issue here.
It is an issue, because basically what happened was, my information is that the police told Hearts that there was a major potential security issue if they went and had their showers, did the post-match media obligations. It would mean that they would be leaving the stadium at around about the same time as the stadium was beginning to empty, and there was the police feared the potential for a gathering outside the front doors as Hearts players were leaving. So yeah, that was the reason that Hearts did what they did. It's not great. It's really not great. Whatever way you look at this, it's hugely unsatisfactory.
I'm not saying this on the point that Celtic should be stripped of their title and all that rubbish. I'm not interested in that. Genuinely not. What I'm interested in is this can't go on, because no matter what way you look at it, Celtic have stormed the pitch 3 times this season, and twice it's been an absolute disaster.
Well, I think Ryan as well. Yes, you're 100% right, and Celtic need to try and do something. I don't know what you do, but my worry is that what seems to happen is Celtic will shrug their shoulders and say, well, we can't be held responsible for societal decline. We won't introduce strict liability because the SPFL don't want it and the clubs won't vote for it. So any potential points deductions or stadium closures, that's not going to happen. So that's not going to be there as a deterrent. And the police, I honestly, words fail me. And I know they've got a difficult job, but did they learn nothing from Ibrox? I mean, we were talking about it after that game in the Scottish Cup quarter-final at Ibrox. And I said, I always remember going to these games, the big high-risk games, Category 1, whatever you want to describe them as, and 5 minutes before the end of that game, there would be a wall of yellow, high-vis would come out from the corners, and the pitch would be absolutely surrounded. That was basically a very highly visible deterrent. That, again, I didn't see that happening at Celtic Park yesterday. So the police after that game at Ibrox marked their own homework and said, oh, we were very happy with the policing on show. Were you? Were you really? You're happy? Because that descended into an almost full-scale riot. And then yesterday, I believe it's my information, Ryan, is even though the police were concerned about the potential for a security issue if Hearts didn't leave the stadium immediately, Hearts did leave the stadium almost immediately. I think the buses took a while to get around, 15 minutes or so. Hearts were kind of standing about in the tunnel area. When they went to get on the bus, there was a small pocket of Celtic fans. I don't know if they hadn't got in, if they were ticketless or whatever, but they were outside the front. They were confronted. They were faced aggression as they made their way onto the bus. The police were standing at the main door at Celtic Park watching it and not intervening. I've got a major issue with that as well. Yeah. And I think there's so many aspects of this that Scottish football has to address as a matter of urgency. Because you know what? I think what will happen now is this whole thing will get kicked down the road a little bit. Attention will transfer over to the World Cup this summer. It'll all be forgotten about. But you know what? It's almost like sleeper cells in this country waiting for it all to start again next season. And I think there has to be a collective, responsible discussion about how we stop this, because it's starting to become a trend, and it's really unsatisfactory, really bad for the image and reputation of Scottish football.